So, the Lions just had a huge collapse in the NFC Championship game. I just wanted to talk about it on here because I'm upset. And I'm not upset because I'm a Lions fan. I'm upset because they had such a good run this year, and I really thought this was going to be their year. They would make it to the Super Bowl, maybe win it, and I'm just upset that they lost. And I'll kind of explain why I think, like, the major reasons why they lost. Obviously, blowing 17 points and then letting up 27 and a half. I mean, you can't do that, man. But here's the thing. The Lions had 2 or 3 opportunities to kick a field goal on 4th down, and you can't play the ball on 4th down like that in the championship game, in the fourth, especially in the fourth quarter. You can probably get away with it in like the first, second quarter, but once it gets to that late game, you cannot take 4th down conversions. It's just that should not happen. I think that's on Dan Campbell, man. I think I don't by no means I think he's a bad coach. I think he is a great coach, and he's definitely good at keeping up morale. I mean, that touchdown drive late in the fourth quarter really brought something back into that team. But again, I think those 2 field goals were just really detrimental to that loss. And they could have tied the game or won the game if they kicked them. And that's what really sucks, is that any one of those kicks would have at the very least tied the game, sent it to overtime. Another thing, their secondary was a huge issue. I mean, they were lining up big plays. They couldn't tackle right, and their defense buckled a little bit as a whole. I mean, there's so many times where Brock Purdy just escaped a sack and was able to just run it downfield an extra 10, 15 yards, and it was just like, what are you guys doing, man? It was it was pretty awful to just like kind of watch as an outside viewer. And I even rooting for the Lions. I'm a Bears fan, mind you, and I was hard rooting for the Lions the entire playoffs. And I mean, I really do hope that they find success in the future. I've always liked the Lions as like a second team into the NFC North, and I actually, before the game, was a 49ers fan, but I really wanted the Lions to win just in this case because I will root for the underdog no matter what. And yes, I will root for the 49ers again, but it's just heartbreaking, man. But anyways, back to what I was saying. The defense just really buckled. I mean, they were dominating in the first half. I mean, 27 to 24 to 7, and it was just absolutely mind-boggling when they came back and let off 17 and just out of nowhere. And I was like, what is happening? And the last major thing, dropped passes were just unacceptable. I mean, you can't be dropping passes on 3rd down, 4th down, right in your hands, right in the stomach. Craig Reynolds with a couple drop passes. Jameson Williams, I think it's Jameson Williams with a couple dropped passes as well. Although the one where the one end zone drop, you can maybe call defensive pass interference because that 49ers secondary, I forgot his name, and did push him a little bit, and he was hit on the run, like on his way to the end zone. You could argue that could have been a defensive pass interference, but still, that ball was right there, should have caught it. And what is it, Laporta on 2nd or 3rd down just drops it. And it looked like it was a catch at first. He drops it. The drops were just bad in that game, man. It did not help the Lions at all. And they under pressure, they just didn't come out. They came out in like the first 2 quarters, really showed them like what the Lions are about, and that's, I think, what we'll see going into next season. I mean, because I know the Lions are going to be pissed. Dan Campbell's going to be pissed. He's gonna learn to not take as many risks, like taking it on 4th and 3, 4th and 8, and not kicking a field goal instead of just going for a run or a pass. He's got to learn to not do that. But I think the Lions will come back next year. They'll be pissed. They're gonna have a wicked season. I can already see it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because this is a game where I was like truly upset at the outcome here. And yeah, I'm not going to make any excuses like, oh, bad reffing, oh, 49ers got handed the win, because there was some instances where they did look a little bit offsides, but I'm not going to complain. This was a huge just collapse by the Lions, and I do hope that they come back next year, but yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.